Hello and welcome to the Odd Experience podcast. I'm with Cameron Ryan, also known as Oddcast C, and with Theo Ivelord Chapman.
Oh my god, you said it right.
Also known as Oddcast T, and I'm Isaac Hannon, Oddcast.
Because you're trying to be different.
Those are @s on Twitter. Go follow us. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure to
Today
check us out.
we will be talking about conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
So,
Can we get some
Riveting
can we get
podcast.
some creepy music in the background?
I'll add it in post.
Some royalty-free ukulele.
So, let's get started. So, today we'll be talking about the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Ooh.
Theo, do you know about that?
No, I don't.
Cameron, do you know?
No, not really.
Niall Soundman, do you know about that?
Well, I'm the one that told you about it, so...
Yeah, alright, let's go. Right, so... A group of 9 skiers,
Oh,
led
God.
by the man himself, Dyatlov, set out on the 2nd of February to the Oraton Mountains in Russia.
Ooh.
But later that month, on the 26th, all 9 bodies were found dead.
Oh, I have heard of this one actually.
Have you?
Yeah, ages ago. Anyway, carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
Anyways, carry on. 2 of the 9 bodies were found by a tree line wearing nothing but their underpants, even though the temperatures dropped to minus 30 degrees Celsius.
Oh.
Gary Glitter got to him.
No, but like, that is a bit weird.
It's a bit weird. Wait, so... Well, it clearly wasn't them then.
Mystery
Or they
rapist?
got something on their clothes.
I'm going to explain why they were
Mystery
basically naked. Say.
Okay.
Another 3 of the bodies were found between the camp and the trees. 1 had a fractured skull,
Jesus.
but that didn't really matter to the doctors because they assumed that all 5 died of hypothermia, which is a bit weird because how can you get a fractured skull from hypothermia?
Yeah,
So that's 5 out of the 9 bodies.
that's weird.
The other 4 were found 2 months later.
2 months later.
2 months later, yeah, that's weird.
Jesus.
1 had a fractured skull, 1 had crushed ribs, and 1 had crushed ribs and a missing tongue.
Oh,
That's grim.
Wait, I
This
thought you
makes
said
no
there
sense.
were 9 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'll
That
get
only
to that.
counts
I'll
as
get to
7.
that in a bit.
oh,
But missing tongue.
how? Like,
Maybe it just froze off.
that's a good point actually.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
But how would it?
Maybe he's freezing. He's
But why
dead.
would-
It's not
No, because
aliens.
like realistically, like say if you've been dead for a long time, this guy's been dead for like 2 months. As you
Yeah.
said.
an animal's gonna come and
And when you
Yeah,
die,
but why not just bite off the other ones as well?
maybe he had a taste of it and went, not for me.
yeah. No, but like when you die, like 2 months after death, like
You're
and
gonna
with
be
the
pretty, like,
Shut up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like surely if like your arm was like dead and you were in the cold, like just hear me out, and then it just fall off.
No, because in
'Cause
the
it's,
cold,
like, cold and
you
brittle.
get preserved, don't you?
That's a good point. But it depends how cold it is.
They were under the snow, sorry.
Yeah, so they're
were under
gonna
the
they're
snow.
gonna have been preserved.
They got thawed out after 2 months.
That is okay. That's even more unexplainable.
Was it an animal?
Because how would an animal
How would an animal get to if they're under the snow?
exact like 2 months worth of snow?
Jesus, that's weird, fam.
That is very weird.
That is weird.
I'm trying to
weird.
piece it together in my head, and I
But-
just can't.
What was
The
that?
4 bodies were actually wearing the clothes of the first 2 bodies that were naked.
Oh,
I don't know. I reckon. I don't know. That bit, it sounds a little bit explainable. If they died maybe a little bit later, maybe the first group died
Yeah,
and they took their clothes and they put them on.
just like give me that.
yeah, and they put
He got
to
Gucci
stay
on.
even warm. he got the Louis belt.
he got the Tommy Hilfiger.
But
Oh my
what-
god, some Nikes.
what is weird is that the clothes that were on the 4 guys were actually covered in radiated, like by radioactivity. And then it turned out that the whole campsite was radioactive. Right, so now we're about to start to move on to the theories that people have come up with. But I just want to say, the tent they were staying in was ripped from the inside.
See that?
Oh,
I guess they were trying to escape something.
Maybe. So one theory is an avalanche. So
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I said.
that's fair
basically,
enough.
that backs up the tent being ripped from the inside and the hypothermia deaths
How does that back up to being ripped from the inside?
because like they were trying to escape.
Mm.
But and it also backs up a thing called paradoxical undressing, where when you are dying from hypothermia, you become
you become really hot.
Yeah. And you feel like your body's burning.
Yeah.
And you become really disorientated. You just take all your clothes off.
Yeah, that is a thing. That is explainable.
But it doesn't explain the missing tongue and radioactivity.
Yeah,
Does
exactly.
explain why the other ones were wearing the other clothes as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because if it was an avalanche, surely they'd all die together.
Because missing tongue, like, you could say that's an animal, but what animal can get through 2 months worth of snow?
Exactly.
I have no idea.
And weren't the first bodies found up a tree?
They were found in the tree line, yeah. So like just on the floor by the trees.
Oh, that's odd. Fam.
Incredibly weird.
I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of spooky. Like, imagine you're going for a hike with your friend, like D of E. Imagine you're going on D of E, and then you find out one of the groups has a missing tongue, is covered in, I don't know, an avalanche of dirt. And 3 of them are found up a tree. It's
An
just
avalanche of dirt.
Well, I'm sorry, we don't really get an avalanche of snow in England, do we? We're not going to pop to Yorkshire and get, go skiing, am I? Closest thing we can come to like an avalanche is at the ski centre.
That's true.
Go to Hemel.
Just a mountain of mud just coming at you like, what's up?
That would be worse than snow, in my opinion.
That would be, because it stinks.
It's got, like,
That'd be the
loads of
worst part.
Yeah,
Also, it's a lot
just
thicker. You
stink.
can't exactly swim
And
through
you've
it.
got
can you?
spiders
It'd
in
be
it.
like getting buried alive. Another theory is Soviets tested one of their missiles by the campsite.
Theo, are you wearing a ring?
No.
What just
Yeah, thanks for
stabbed me?
interrupting him.
What
Yeah,
just
thanks for
stabbed me?
interrupting me. Yeah, what did I say? Another theory is the Soviets test missile and maybe it kind of oofed by the camp.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, missing tongue.
That kind of explains the radioactivity. But
Yeah.
It explains the radioactivity, but it doesn't explain. That could have also caused the avalanche, but it still doesn't explain the missing tongue.
Yeah, but it's weird because there was no evidence of an explosion or a missile record.
I want to believe it was something supernatural, but it probably wasn't. It's something
probably just Russia being Russia.
It's probably
Yeah.
something we haven't thought about.
They probably just got really drunk, found some ooze, drunk it, one of them's tongue fell off. They all
Yeah.
just slowly passed away, and then 2 of them got trapped in an avalanche.
But still with the military thing, so basically, even though all 9 were dead, there was originally 10 campers. But one left early due to an illness, and his name was Yuri Yudin, and he helped identify the campers at the site and the objects. One of the items that he couldn't identify was a bit of cloth that was military origin from like Russia.
Ooh.
And then, as Niall said, he went mad and went into an institute.
Also, we found out that their injuries, it wasn't just like a fractured skull and
this
stuff.
is what I'm going to get to with the third theory, which was a Yeti.
Oh no, the least likely.
Monster.
The least likely.
No.
Yes.
Well, no,
about
it is
it.
actually no.
Exist.
Monkey.
Well, no, it is deemed as the least likely because everyone's so like on to it not existing.
I don't
But-
mean like Sasquatch.
Does
With-
not
Yeah,
exist.
why is Sasquatch such that out there? To be honest,
Humans would have found some sort of
no, there are
existence of it
so
by
many
now.
undiscovered species of animals in Siberia.
Yeah. What?
in Siberia.
There's so many undiscovered species of animals that live at the bottom of the ocean, and that's more explainable that we don't know about that. But like, if they're living on land, surely humans
There
would
are
have found
parts of the
some
world we
traces.
still
Of it.
haven't been to.
Some traces of it.
It would explain one of the ladies being thrown up a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The injuries. What was it?
Amounting to a car crash.
Crash. That's.
Could have been like a saber-toothed tiger or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
the saber-toothed
And
tiger.
the
that
No,
was
no, no, no,
killing
no,
people.
not as in like. Oh, that's not what I meant at all. Like not a tiger.
Lion. A saber-toothed lion.
A snow leopard or something like that.
Because they definitely had puncture
Alright,
wounds
Theo,
all over
I think
them, didn't
let's just get back to this. But the reason why people think, oh, it's not a Yeti, because 1, they don't think it exists, and 2, because a Yeti wouldn't be smart enough to cover it with tracks. But it may have just been the snow covering it.
Yeah.
So I was actually fixed on it not being a Yeti at all, but now
I'm not gonna lie. I think Niall has swayed me in the.
I'm quite
the
sure
way
it
of
was a
the
Yeti. Ow! And the last
It don't
theory,
exist.
Shut up.
And no, to do with the Yeti actually.
Actually, do
Um,
you think Yetis are real?
No,
But why not?
because we would have found some sort of existence of it by now.
But
It's a
we
fairly
have.
large animal. It's not like it's an insect that we haven't found yet.
Are you? Mate,
I'm just saying. Humans, there's a lot of humans.
there is still islands in the world that we haven't been to.
I don't doubt that.
There's parts of Siberia that people can't really get to because it's all wasteland.
It could just be a different type of ape that's like used to the cold.
Exactly. It could have just been a tribe of people that evolved to the cold. They got hair all over them.
Exactly, that's what they do. They evolve, but it would also explain like a village near the mountains that has people. That has a group of people called the Mansi people.
Fancy people.
And they're all like petrified of like even just going up
Oh my god.
the mountains, and like they wouldn't dare to.
Do you have a group trip to Dyatlov Pass?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
I'd rather go to, I don't know,
if you want to
Iran.
die. I mean,
I'd rather be
there's no
gay
way
in
I'm
Iran.
going up there because four other people went up there and they've gone missing. They haven't been found.
Oh my god.
How long ago was that?
I don't even know.
These people have been eaten.
The Yeti was hungry. It ate all of them.
It's not that bad.
I mean, the
a
Yeti
theory.
hasn't eaten since 1959, so
Exactly.
he definitely would have just
He's
napped on
starving.
him. But I do think we would have like found a species like a Yeti.
Exactly.
But I do think it's just
We
an ape that's
have.
adapted to the cold.
It's called a monkney.
When you all this evidence I've just heard kind of it makes a bit of
monkey.
sense.
Yeah.
It's just a monkey that's adapted to live in the cold.
But the last theory,
Hey, yo, Jamie.
which is actually the most popular
Yeah.
to people, and they believe it most, aliens.
Oh,
Okay, so people would rather believe aliens over a monkey that walks upright.
Yeah, to
but
be
just
honest,
listen.
I'd believe Yeti
So,
more than aliens.
After they had been found, the military reported that they would see like light orbs in the
course
sky
they did.
from February to March 1959.
It's just a
And
shooting star.
the lead investigator of the Dyatlov Pass, he said, I suspected at the time, and I'm almost sure now, that these bright flying spheres had a direct connection to the group's death. I mean, it could just be the military covering it up.
It
Exactly.
could just be, yeah. Or like a shooting star or something, like...
Yeah, but like the multiple or like spheres in the sky.
So did they all die within like a time
It
frame?
would explain like the Yeti, the inhuman traumas, like having car crash injuries.
Yeah.
Because you never know, aliens could be hench.
Yeah.
And it would also explain the radiation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they probably stink.
Just they stink. They just
They
haven't
stink
gone
of
to the links
radiation.
to Africa today.
Yeah.
So they're
And
just very radioactive.
They stink of radioactivity.
Stinker. Do you know what though, mate? That brings me on to another thing. Do you believe in aliens?
yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because you're a Tory.
Actually, wait, no.
If the
No.
universe is absolutely infinite,
Yeah,
and we
no.
can exist, then
I
why
like-
can something else not
I
exist?
love the idea of space, and I do
So
believe
improbable.
there is something out. There is definitely, there has to be some sort of life out there because the universe is basically
I
infinite.
know. Did you know our solar system is moving slowly towards the outside of the universe? We're slowly moving that way.
And
as
it
the
would
universe
also
expands.
explain the 10 being ripped from the inside, because of not the hikers would have been like, what the and then tried to run, but you know.
No,
See,
I'd say there is definitely some sort of life.
I reckon
there
they-
somewhere.
all of them just died doing stupid Russian
But some people
things.
think that the spheres were missiles, but I think they're both like.
No, I think
they're both as plausible as each other.
you'd be able to tell if a missile went off there,
Yeah.
surely.
But yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't like.
I like that one. That is interesting.
I don't really have any that like it doesn't show that it wasn't aliens. I don't really have any proof of that.
Well, it's hard to prove a negative, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't prove aliens don't exist unless you don't believe in
Yeah.
space. Any of you flat earthers?
No, if you're a flat earther,
Just
you're
me then?
stupid.
No, I'm joking.
I actually can't fathom people
Fathom.
that
So-
believe the Earth is flat. How stupid do you have to be?
Okay, calm down, mate.
It's so annoying that people are that strongly believing in the Earth is fucking flat.
It's a belief, mate. I don't have a go at everyone that
So
believes
dumb.
in Islam.
Right.
Whoa,
Hey.
whoa, that's
Well,
called hate
back
speech.
up on that. Right.
It is.
So Theo, what do you think happened to the 9 men?
You know, I don't want to say.
It doesn't have to be one of the theories. Like, it can be your own opinion as well.
I don't want to say it was a Yeti, but it seems like the most logical explanation, or just like a massive animal that we haven't discovered yet. It doesn't have to be a Yeti.
And why?
Uh,
Just because of the injuries and.
yeah, the injuries and the fact that some of them were in a tree. And you could say the avalanche caused it. So like maybe like
Yeah.
they were hit with the snow that hard that they like got shoved, and then they tried to climb up a tree or something.
Explain the guy trying to climb up the
But
tree.
Yeah, maybe
like-
yeah.
but
It's
like-
avalanche.
The woman that was in the tree was aggressively thrown up there. Like she was just shoved
Yeah.
into that tree.
Maybe it could have been like, I don't know, like some sort of animal. I don't like an animal that lives in the cold, and
Yeah.
it could have like, you know how when like you're like what's it called? You're in a bull ring, and like a bull is charging at you. When a
Yeah.
bull shoves you, you go like flying in the air. So it could have been an animal trying to escape the avalanche.
But the thing with an avalanche
shove them
is, I think it would shove you a bit, but not that hard because it would have buried you in the snow by the
Yeah.
time you move anywhere.
That's true.
But I think with an animal, like she got launched into that tree.
Yeah,
So
it could have been
Maybe
some
there's
sort
just
of
some
animal.
hench guy who was trying to throw her up there, so Eddie Hall just benched her up there, just threw her up so she'd be safe.
Cameron,
Yeah.
what do you think happened?
I don't know, right? 'Cause
That's really helpful.
I've been thinking this over. Like, the one bit that gets me is the tongue.
Yeah.
When
I
you
don't
said
think I
that,
would
I
get
just thought that's not that weird. An animal, and it's like when a woman dies and no one finds the body, cats
Yeah.
like start eating her
Yeah.
because they get hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought, I don't know, maybe an animal started eating it. Its tongue tasted the radioactivity and was like,
Yeah.
you know, just got rid of it,
Because
spat
like
it out.
when
Yeah.
they're dead, it could just be like hanging out, and they would just like grab the first thing they saw.
Exactly. But if they're packed onto 2 months worth of snow
Hmm.
and that preserved, because I don't really want to show anyone the picture, to be honest. There's a picture, they're proper preserved, but there's just so much blood all over his face.
Yeah.
It looks
No,
like
it
something's
is.
grabbed it and torn it out his mouth.
That's probably what happened, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to remove.
No. Unless, I don't know, this sounds quite odd, but as the snow is shifted, you know how Theo was making the point, if you put your tongue to an icy pole,
Yep.
that
And if you
know,
try
it
to,
doesn't-
like,
it doesn't
ugh.
come off. I've done that. That hurts so much.
Exactly.
Maybe it's got stuck to a bit of packed ice in the snow, and as the snow is shifted, it slowly
Yeah.
pulls its tongue out.
No, that's reasonable.
Maybe. Yeah.
But surely they would have then found the tongue
yeah.
That's true.
because the snow would melt.
Yeah. Like it wasn't just. It's not a cut. It was a missing tongue.
Or like when
Yeah.
things get really cold, they can just snap off. Like if you freeze your arm or
Yeah,
any
but
part
like-
of your body.
No,
Like,
because
people's
then-
noses
Yeah,
fall
but then
off.
the other people would have had their tongues missing and shit.
There was
Yeah,
another
see-
guy packed in that ice,
I
wasn't
mean,
there?
unless this person was trying to like make out with the ice.
Ah.
It's like every point we bring up, there's another point to like
Exactly.
diminish it. But
I
it's-
personally
You believe in aliens, don't you? You think it's aliens?
no, but I do think it was aliens because I don't see how a Yeti could cause radioactivity around the whole camp.
Yeah.
Well, there's that thing about aliens, isn't it? That we got a signal from space. No one knows what it meant. That came, that essentially originated 5.2 billion years ago.
When
So
did
it's-
you hear about that?
It was in 2012. But so something happened before the Earth was made, and we've only just got it, basically,
Yeah,
which is what I find quite cool.
but I think it was aliens.
What is that?
That's the
Oh
thing.
yeah, I've heard about it. It's in like the WoW frequency or some whatever it's called. I
See,
watched a
I'm
video on that.
I'm not bullshitting you here.
No, I know. I did watch a video.
I
It wasn't
just-
that long ago though. It was like originated a couple of million years ago,
I just don't know
not before the Earth.
No, it was before the Earth, wasn't it?
And I watched this guy debunk that theory, and I forgot what he said, but it seemed unlikely that it was life. It was just
You're unlikely.
a radio frequency or something like that.
But I don't see why the lead
Wow.
investigator would lie about because I don't think he was
Did
part
anyone
of the military. But I don't
on
think
the investigation see these orbs? Did anyone see these orbs? Because I don't know. Because if no one's
it
really,
just reported this right around February, March.
who saw it? The military
Yeah.
or people?
Like the rescuers and the military and
Oh,
stuff
okay,
like that.
okay. So not just the military
No.
went. There were lights above. We didn't kill them
Yeah.
at all. They probably made some sort of weird mutant thing and it killed some people
Yeah.
and they put it down.
But yeah, I'm going with aliens.
I'm going with Yeti.
Yeah, same.
So it's
Yeti didn't exist.
Well, sure.
Niall, you're a Yeti man, aren't you?
I'm a Yeti man. I'm a Yeti. and
Well,
that's
3 against 1. We just solved Dyatlov.
I'd say I'm a
It was
Yeti
the
mixed with
Yeti.
natural causes.
I just can't go Yeti because of the radioactivity.
Yeah.
I did forget about that. to be honest.
Because aliens could possibly do the same as a Yeti with the injuries.
We don't know what they're capable of.
Except we don't know what they look like. That's the point. They could look
With
like
the Yeti.
Theo or they could look like Eddie Hall.
Or you.
That was the Dyatlov Pass incident.
I like it.
That was an interesting talk.
What would you give that conspiracy theory out of 10?
Oh, that's probably the best one I've heard.
9 dead travellers out of 10.
Oh my! You know what? I
And
have to
one
agree.
man missing, going crazy.
Oh.
Too soon, bro.
50 years too soon.
70 years too soon. But no, I really like that one. I don't see why it's not why it's not.
I've never heard of it
Because it's not very popular either. And you know.
Oh, it's because it's Russian. People just think, oh, it's Russians doing crazy Russian things.
Russians have done crazy
Steroids.
Russian
Yeah,
things.
like when they just
The
get
sleep
really
experiment.
drunk and jump off buildings and stuff and survive.
And the Russian sleep
That
experiment.
wasn't real.
What's the
it
Russian
not?
sleep
Creepy
experiment?
pasta.
Oh. I'm sorry.
What
But
is
it's a good story.
what is the Russian sleep
You
experiment?
know, you probably know more about it than me.
It's a story during the car. I'll tell you once we stop recording.
Yeah. But
That's for a different episode.
if you have made it to here, thank you very much for listening. This has been the Odd
Don't
Experience
forget
podcast.
to follow all of our social
not cut him
medias.
off?
Could you
please.
not cut me off?
He
Well-
was trying to do his outro, and you were like, "Now
Like,
everybody."
shut up.
You were
Right,
going to
you've had your
say it.
podcast.
You were going to
Isaac,
forget to say it.
Isaac, say it.
Right, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening. Make sure you follow our Twitter accounts, OddcastC, OddcastT, and iOddcast, because their name was taken.
Well,
This has been the Dyatlov Pass Conspiracy Theory podcast.
Goodbye,
Thank you very
boys and
much.
girls.
Like and subscribe.
Goodbye.
Like and subscribe, fam. All right, goodbye.